Hi, all. This is John Heerdink at Tribe Public. Thanks again for tuning in and giving the tribe your attention and being part of the tribe. Uh, Recently, we've had the pleasure of having Panna Sharma, CEO of Lantern Pharma, an AI company that trades in the symbol Nasdaq LTRN, out on the road with us at various different cities, i.e. Salt Lake City, San Francisco, etc. And many of the participants in the meeting that got to see his presentation wanted us to do a follow-up. And so we're just doing a quick one today where Panna's going to address 6 questions or so, and then we'll put this up at the Tribe Public YouTube channel, and you can view it at your leisure. We'll be sending it out to a number of you as you per your request. Panna, thanks for joining us today, and it's been a pleasure having you at the various tribe cities. And also,
don't forget Newport Beach.
Newport Beach, yeah, definitely, absolutely, and looking forward to having you out in Dallas on the 14th. So let us know if there's anybody watching this that's going to be in Dallas on the 14th, and we'll be sure to try to get you introduced to Panna in person. So Panna, maybe we just go through these questions very quickly today. And the first one is, can you share some of the potential revenue and market sizes of your drug candidates and therapies?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the most exciting things about having an AI platform is that it allows you to constantly look at how your drugs can be best positioned in therapy, different lines of therapy, obviously, much like a Keytruda. If you can find new lines of therapy, new avenues where it's going to work, where it's going to work even better than the current standard of care, and where you think you can mount an efficient trial, that's great. When we went public, we had thought that our market potential for our drugs was somewhere in the range of about 5 to 6 billion. Today, I'm happy to know it's significantly larger than that, and I'll walk through each one. We think today it's somewhere in the range of closer to almost 20 billion, which is about 7 to 8% of the entire cancer therapy market globally. Our first drug, LP300, which is in a phase 2 trial, has about 1.5 billion in annual revenue potential here in the US and closer to 3 billion globally. Our drug LP184, which is truly blockbuster-like, has about 6 to 7 billion in revenue potential globally, and another 4 to 5 billion in brain and CNS cancers. And then finally, our drug LP284, which didn't even exist when we went public, has about 1.5 billion in potential revenue annually here in the US and close to 4+ billion globally, again, in non-Hodgkin's lymphomas. So you can see, as we use the AI tool to look at new indications and then develop in vitro and in silico and then in animal evidence for each of these indications, oftentimes we'll get orphan disease designation, rare pediatric designation, and we try to lock in the potential commercialization in those categories, including with filing of IP. So we filed IP around all these indications, biomarker signatures, combination regimens, but the revenue potential today is approaching, across all the drug candidates, about 20 billion, and that's a pretty meaningful impact just from the initial drug candidates that we're pursuing. And again, it's also growing.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the efficiencies around your platform, your company are amazing to me, and the size of the markets move the needle. The next question we have for you is, how are you guiding cash usage in the coming quarters and into 2024?
Sure. I think we've always publicly stated that we expect to burn between 4 and 5 million a quarter. I think historically so far it's been a little less than that in 2023. Going into finishing the third quarter, we expect to use a little north of 11 million for the first 3 quarters and probably closer to 15 for the full year. We expect another 16 to 18 going into next year, which is right in that 4 to 4.5 million a quarter usage. So that gives us plenty of cash well into 2025, which is important because we expect next year in 2025 to be the years in which we generate larger deals with pharma and biotech companies to co-develop, to license, or to sell these assets that we're pursuing.
That makes sense. Thanks, Panna. The next question is, what is the timeline and path forward for Starlight?
Yeah, so Starlight, as you know, we launched the creation of Starlight earlier this year, Q1, and we expect right now we're guiding that we'll bring on board some key people, key officers and staff in Q4 of this year, and then launch it into funding in Q1, probably with some external partners, and then go into trials in Q2 or Q3, phase 2 trials in brain and CNS cancers. And if the markets are receptive, the back of some of that data and development, we could even pursue an IPO or even a follow-on funding after the initial funding. So Starlight will be moving, pretty rapidly next year, both into funding and then into trials.
Thank you. The next question is, what are the near-term or milestones for the next 12 to 12 months for Lantern?
So we have some ADC data. We have a preclinical program that's very exciting in antibody drug conjugates. That's a collaboration that we're doing with a number of academic and research consortiums to develop an entirely new treatment modality. We'll announce some data in Q4 for the ADC data. We also will have a radar update as well and host a platform day for our radar platform in January. Next year, we expect to have data in Q2, Q3, and Q4 for our program. So 184 for the phase 1A, for 284 for the phase 1A, following up with that, and then hopefully some interim or readout data for LP300 by the end of the year. So we expect each quarter to have some meaningful milestones for the existing clinical trials, but also additional collaborations and milestones, both for our ADC program starting in December, and then our radar update in December and January. So we've got, I think, pretty good set of news flow coming out over the next 12 months.
Thank you. Next question is, what are the nature of the collaborations that you are seeking to create with Radar?
That's a good question. I mean, as the Radar platform grows, we really see the platform as being almost a form of currency for us to be able to use the platform to get milestone fees, equity, ownership, and or access to molecules and programs that we otherwise wouldn't have access to. So we're going to seek those kind of collaborations where we can get equity, milestone fees, or upside for us and our investors in promising new drugs. We also expect to partner with the tech company to make our AI a real de facto cloud-based environment for all oncology drug developers. So that's something that we will have to do with a tech partner. So we're beginning discussions on that. And that way the Radar platform can go out to the hundreds or actually 2,000 plus groups out there globally that are trying to develop oncology medicines. And we can participate in the subscription and licensing fees associated with that. So those are the two kind of collaboration formats that we're looking to do with Radar over the next 12 months.
Thank you. It looks like we came to the end of the questions that came from the tribe. Thank you so much. And what I would encourage all is to continue to send us any other questions. We'll try to get Panna back on and to address those as we move forward on a regular basis. Panna, would you like to say sort of a closing summary in any way in addition to the questions that were addressed today?
No, I think it's a great set of questions. We'll have our earnings call coming up. So hopefully this Wednesday after market close, you guys can join in on the earnings call. It'll be done via Zoom webinar with myself and our CFO, David Margrave. And following up, we'll have some tribe events in December, as you mentioned. So hopefully, the questions keep coming in. Love talking about what we're doing. I think we're one of the handful of companies that's got a well-managed balance sheet, programs that are making very, very good progress every quarter, and a platform that continues growing. So there's multiple paths, I believe, to win with Lantern. So thank you, John.
Yeah. Thanks again, Panna. Thanks again, the tribe. Look forward to hearing from all of you once you've had time to review this video, and we'll at the Tribe Public YouTube channel, and also continue to express your interest in having Panna come out to your tribe city around the country as we move forward. Thank you again, and have a great day.
Thank you, John.